Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park 20 Phillies franchise playthrough. And man, this year just has been up and down, total roller coaster of a year. If you got to see the last episode, we kind of left it on a good note. We were several games above 500 finally. We were starting to win. We were in playoff contention. And right before this was the episode ended right before the trading deadline, and so the big struggle this year, unlike past years, has been with the offense. And so I made some trades that I thought would help the offense, and the team tanked. And we started losing again. We were below 500 again, just about ready to give up on the season, and then made some lineup changes and got through August pretty well, and we've started a good run in September, and we're on the standings page, and if you can see it on your screen, we are currently in first place in the National League East, a half game over the Braves, one game over the Mets. Nationals just 3 games back. It's a very close race, but we're 10 games over 500. I really didn't see this happening after that last episode when I was playing offline, even though, man, this has been just a tough year because my hopes were up so high. And so it looks like we're finally playing to expectations, but I'm hoping it's not going to be too little or, too late. But we're going to take a look at how the team's been doing, and then we'll finish out the season. This is kind of, when you've got a good playoff run going, this is really about my favorite part of the season. We've got 20 games left, and I just like seeing that final push to make the playoffs, and seeing how all those moves you made throughout the season and the off season, how everything kind of falls into place. When that happens, it's really one of my favorite times of playing this game. So that's good, and hopefully we'll be able to keep this run. But let's look at a few things on the team first, just to show you how we've been doing. We had a great August, and that's what turned it around. Towards the end of August, after losing quite a bit in July, we had a great 17-11, 7-3 start to September. Offense has improved quite a bit, but not the way I expected it would. The trades, I'll show you, didn't pan out. But man, this pitching has been the best staff I've had maybe in this playthrough. I mean, it's long. We're in 2039, so 20 plus seasons. But first in several categories, top 3 in most categories. Defensive efficiency and zone rating, those have been a struggle for years. They're finally in the top half of the league, if nothing else. But when I look at the pitching staff individually, I think McAvee, he was not a bust. I mean, he's got a potential to get right around 4 wins above replacement. He's been a pretty good signing, I think. But I'm really just continue to be impressed with Ken Dion. His individual ratings may not show it, but this is a 5-pitch starter with a good stamina. 3 stars overall right now, just 26 years old. I had a lot of draft offers for this guy, or trading offers, for this guy throughout the year, but decided to keep him. He's already above 4 wins above replacement. Contreras, even though he's still got some injury proneness perhaps, he's had a good season, pretty solid, 12 wins. I mean, I've got 4 starters with double digits in wins. That's something I don't think I've had in a while. Barbarosa's even looked good. He's a 3-star pitcher. He's looked good overall too, so that's good. Mendoza, 34 saves. I was able to re-sign him for a 3-year contract extension. Pretty happy about that. But on the flip side, the lineup just was really outside of Gordon, who's having a phenomenal year, really. May even get 50 home runs this year. He has really led this team, carried this offense most of the year. Gutierrez, a guy I traded for, I think last offseason with the Cubs. I claimed him off waivers, and he has been pretty solid as well. I liked how he's played. Steve Bond was injured. Hasn't really had that big of an impact on the team. But Aguirre, he started to show some good signs, positive signs. 20 home runs already. Pretty productive player. The big struggle was with Portillo, and it was such a struggle when it came to the trading deadline. I decided I need some offense, so I traded for this guy, a 4.5 star left fielder primarily, who's got some good overall ratings. I really like his speed and eye discipline. He draws a lot of walks. He does strike out quite a bit, but he is signed for $12 million last year or next year with a player option. But we do have room on this team to sign to pick up a guy like this. I really thought he was going to be an impact when he came over, but he was terrible. He's hitting 188 since he joined the team. Outside of the walks, no power, just one home run. He has been a complete bust, one of the biggest busts I've seen. Now I'm going to be stuck with him because Portillo finally got hot, and so I moved Portillo back into left field. And Riggs, this guy's just really a bench player right now. Pretty expensive bench player too. But thankfully, Portillo did take off, so that's good. That's good. Koopman, he's having a fairly solid year. He was injured for a while as well. But I'm hoping that this team is hot at the right time and that we'll continue to play well down the stretch. The thing that scares me, though, when I look at the pennant chase, we have 20 games left, but only 7 at home. And our record at away is not very good, 30-38. We're really good at home, terrible on the road. So I think the only thing that's going to save me is the Braves, who have 9 at home, 10 away, and a much better schedule. I mean, their winning percentage of their schedule is .475. Ours is above .500. It's going to be tough, I think, to do. New York, they're 14 at home down the stretch, but it's a tougher schedule in terms of winning percentage. And then Washington has a really tough one, too, 6 at home, 12 away, and a winning percentage below .500, but being on the road could be tough. But the problem is, I think we're going to have to win the division to make the playoffs. I don't see us getting into that wild card because there are so many teams who are Chicago is above us. Either Pittsburgh or Chicago will probably go from the Central, and then you've got the Dodgers above us, the Braves, Mets, Milwaukee, a lot of teams in the mix. So it's going to be really almost impossible, I think, for us to guarantee a wild card. I think we're going to have to win out, or at least win the division to make the playoffs. But I'm ready to go. We're going to go take it a game at a time like I usually do. We got a 4-game series, tough one, at home, but it's against Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh, they're playing for the playoffs as well. So let's get it started. Game 1. And we win 5-4. A lot of one-run games this year. Koopman good there, solid at the leadoff spot. Aguirre scored a couple runs. And then Contreras picked up his 13th win, gave me 7 innings. Mendoza his 35th save. And I think I saw a trade proposal late in the year, but it's another pitcher that I don't think I need, but they're wanting Sean Riggs. Wow. He's a free agent in a couple seasons. This is intriguing. I think I'm going to hang on to Riggs. This is a good pitching guy. Some of you guys, you comment if you think this is a bad move, but I think I am going to hang on to Riggs because I'm hoping that he's just having an off year and maybe he'll be back next year. And I tell you, another positive I didn't talk about, and sometimes this game can really, it's like, I think it's probably like real life baseball, as close as you can get with a computer game, but you'll see patterns and cycles with the game a lot of times. So for the longest time, I could not get pitching prospects, and now that may be starting to change with the guys like Contreras and Dion. Those were draft picks who developed and made the major league roster. But this guy at Double A right now is quite, he's possibly the best pitching prospect I've had, even better than Dion and Contreras in a long way. This guy has numbers, I think, that could anchor a rotation. He was just an 8th round pick, but he's developed really well every step along the way. And in 2039, he's moved from single A all the way up to Double A, and he's been solid at every stop. 16 wins total. I think wins above replacement is probably around 5. It looks like 4.5. Just a very good pitcher. Great numbers, solid. My scout thinks he's a 4.5. OSA thinks he's 5 potential. So this guy in a couple years, if he stays healthy and he's listed as durable, he has had no major injuries, just a 4-day injury in his whole career. So very happy about that. Plus I think I got another potential closer prospect down there, even though his movement's not too good. But some good pitching prospects. So I'm not going to really trade offense for pitching right now, if I can help it, barring injury. And I've even got some guys here in AAA that I didn't call up because I didn't want to shake up that staff, but who've looked pretty good. So anyway, we're moving back. We gained a game and a half, another game over Atlanta. So game 2 against Pittsburgh, another 1-run win. Big injury though, Johnny Price. Not a big prospect, but long injury. So Portillo 3 for 5 in this one. Gordon may have hit another home run. I can't. It looks like he got his 45th home run. McAfee didn't pick up the win, but he gave me 6 innings. So good deal. So we're keeping it going. And the guy that Colorado just offered me just pitched a shutout, but that's okay. Game 3 against Pittsburgh, 0-2, tough loss. No offense, just 3 hits in the game. Dion pitched solid, 6 innings, just 2 runs, but can get that offense going. That's been a story most of the season. So a couple teams already eliminated in the American League. So game 4, let's see if we can win the series. And we do 5-2, very solid. But Atlanta's winning again. Oh, man. They're now just a half game behind us. But Gordon, another solid game, 46 home runs now. Norman 3 for 4. Portillo drove in a couple. Let's see. Pitching, Mayhew, solid, but didn't get the win. And now we've got some other teams, Angels, out of the playoffs. We got Jeremy Tuck ready to come off injury. I'm going to bring him in, but I'm probably not going to use him too much. Let me see how I can fit him into that lineup. I'm probably going to... He's a good defender, though. I definitely like his speed, but, man, I've got plenty of speed down here. Let me put him in as a pinch runner for him. And, gosh, I guess I'll just play him against righties for now. Although at this point, I'm not expecting to see too many DH games. I don't think we've got much of that left. So now we got a 3-game series on the road against San Diego. San Diego not having a great season, so hopefully we can do well here on the road. First game, 9-8. Wow, that's a tough one, but got some offense. Aguirre 4 RBIs. Riggs got the start here. 2 for 5, drove in a couple. Koopman 3 for 4. He's flirting with 300 again, which is where he usually does. Barbarossa got the win, even though he wasn't solid. It was his 12th win. Mendoza got the save, even though he wasn't solid. So not a very good not a very good bullpen performance. So now here we go with game 2 at San Diego, 5-1, very solid win there. Gordon 2 for 4, drove in a couple, 47 home runs now for him. Koopman 3 for 4, he's over 300 now for his batting average. And Contreras, just 5 innings, but he got his 14th win. Mendoza, his 37th save. his career high is 40, which he did last year. He's got a chance, outside chance at beating that this year. But we're still just a game over Atlanta, so we're not gaining much ground at all against them. Game 3 at San Diego, 6-3. Atlanta's keeping pace, just a game behind us. Gutierrez a good game here. Bond a good solid game for him. Portillo drove in a couple. And then McAvee, his 11th win, 7 innings, just 3 earned runs. I'll take that from him. Now, let's take a look at the weekly winners. None from us. Ma, though, was a former Philly that we let go to Chicago. He's still playing. Not the player that I thought he was going to be, but he's had a pretty decent career. And weekly team pay, we're 4th in weekly team power rankings. That's pretty good. But standings, there's so many teams bunched up here. We've got to win the division. We've got to. And the Dodgers are better than us. Arizona, they're probably going to be in line with just, 11 games to play to win that division if they hold off. And then, so it's going to be several teams there going for that final wild card spot. We just got to keep winning it. And we're going to be playing at Los Angeles. So, not good. This would be a series that if we win the series, it would really be very, very helpful to our playoff chances. And good start. We win 5-2. Gordon drove in a couple. Eubanks got a start there. He's been really good off the bench. I like this guy too. He's either going to be future starter or he's going to have some, I would think, trade opportunities in the offseason. How about Dion, though? 3 for 3, drove in a run in the pitching spot. Picked up his 12th win, was solid, just 1 run. Mendoza, his 38th save. So now we got game 2. I would love to win this series. 1-5, couldn't do it. We are a game and a half, though, over Atlanta, but Portillo may have hit a home run here, but Mayhew didn't pitch too badly. 5 innings, 2 runs. I don't know if I did not re-sign Mayhew, so I think that's okay, though. I think I've got some good opportunities or options next year with starting pitching. All right, Yankees win the American League East. Blue Jays out. So rubber game against the Dodgers. We lose 6-7. The only good thing is Atlanta lost as well. Lost it in extra innings. Gutierrez 2 for 4, not a bad game from him. Koopman's still up there over 300. Barbarossa, a good start, but Condeshera, who has been iffy so far. I thought he was going to be a better pitcher, actually. His individual ratings look good enough, but he's had a lot of games like that. All right, so we're now going to be playing against Miami, but it's at home, and we're 2 games over Atlanta. See the news here real quick. Mike Snyder, big player there. He's going to be gone for the rest of the season for the Angels, but I don't know if the Angels are really... No, they've already been eliminated. But Mike Snyder is pretty decent player in terms of his career. I mean, he's a 3-star player now, but he had really good run there from 30 through now, 417 home runs. Pretty decent player. So game 1 at home against Miami. Got to stay focused. 4-5. Man, not a good one. We should be winning this series. This one is the series we've got to win if we're gonna make it. Contreras, not a great game. Bullpen looked good, but Contreras, one of his worst outings in a while. Game 2 against Miami. And Miami playing spoiler here. We're now tied again with Atlanta. Went to extra innings, but we could not win it. 3-2. McAvee, a solid game. Condeshera, again, blew it in the bullpen. I think Condeshera right now is listed as a setup guy. Gosh. I'm going to put him back to middle relief. I don't know if that'll help. And then use less, avoid high leverage. I don't know if that's going to help down the stretch, but man, I can't have this happen. We've got to win this last game to stay alive, and we do 2-1. Atlanta stays up with us. So pitching again pulled us through. Although Bond had a good game, Koopman has been solid. I think his September, he's hitting 378, hit 357 in August. Good run for him down the stretch. And Mayhew, solid. 8 innings, 12 strikeouts. Mendoza's 39th save. A lot of news here. Royals are in the playoffs. Players of the week went to Chuck Saucier and Jamie Moran. Not superstars, either one of them. But let's see. Josh Porter re-signs. He was at one time a good player there for Pittsburgh. Looked like he was going to be one of the superstar type player. So we moved down to 10th in the weekly power rankings. So now, oh my gosh, looking at this chase now, down to 7 games. This is going to be a tough week at New York. The way it stands now, I mean, we're still where we are. We have got to beat out Atlanta. And I hope this doesn't come, last season, we were 1 game away from the playoffs. I don't want to have that happen again this year. So let's get started. On the road against New York, 2-4, and we're down below Atlanta. Didn't want to see that. Barbarossa was okay. Scott lost him in the bullpen. The good news is we're going to close at Atlanta, but it's at Atlanta. All right, so game 2 against New York. We got to win here, and we don't. 3-4. I think we're not going to do it. And mainly, that schedule just really did not favor us down the stretch. 7 games away against 2 of your top National League East rivals in the last week. That's hard to overcome. We eke out a win, draw back within a game of Atlanta. Trade proposal here, but man, I don't think that trade would go through anyway. But so this is, I don't see any of our minor league teams. I like to take a look at these. I like that this comes out at the end of the season. You'll have your minor league award winners. It's always good if you see some of your prospects to make that list or those lists. But Gutierrez was pretty much the offense. 2 for 3, scored a run, drove in a run in this one. Contreras pitched good but didn't get the decision. Mendoza got his 40th save. So this is a do or die here. We got to win this one. And we do 7-1, but we are still a game behind Atlanta. All right, so how does this one play out? Gordon, pretty good. His average has dipped a little bit since the start of December. Bond really struggling too, hitting 238. Norman hasn't. His average is tailed off quite a bit as well. McAfee, solid, 7 2/3, no runs, 10 strikeouts, 12th win for him, and he's well over 200 strikeouts for the year. So now, let's see, another Southern League Player of the Year. Did we have anybody there? I don't think we have a Southern League player. We're an Eastern League. All right, so this is what it's all about. We have to win this series. We are currently tied with the Pirates and the Dodgers for the wild card. Milwaukee's just a game back, but I don't want to rely on that. We need to win 2 of 3 to force a playoff with Atlanta. But at least maybe that would get us into the playoffs. So game 1, 7-5. That's what we needed, and we are tied with Atlanta, 87 and 73. Good offensive performances there from Bond, Gutierrez, Gordon. Portillo drove in 3. Mayhew picked up his 8th win. Mendoza his 41st save, so he did reach his career high. And he was, let me see, no, he didn't get pitcher of the month this year, but I thought, he had a great month, middle of the season. All right, so game 2 at Atlanta. Uh, 7-4. 7-4. We are a game up on Atlanta. Again, Gutierrez, Gordon, good game. His 49th home run. I don't know. I think he hit 49 with us before, and he's hit 51 at the Angels before we picked him up. Barbarossa didn't get the decision, but a good game from him. I'm going to take a look at the news briefly here. So we have batters of the month. Paris for Houston in the American League. Chris Taylor for, this is different Chris Taylor, of course, than the one playing now, but played batter of the month in Colorado. Alfredo Espinal, guy I let go last season. He's had a decent run as a starter for St. Louis. The thing that I didn't really like about him was his stamina. He barely gives you a little over 5 innings a game, which of course, it's enough if you got a solid bullpen, but I like a little bit better stamina. All right, so the way the standings are now, 1 game left. We win, we clinch. I think, yeah, we got to win. I mean, it's just going to be so tight if we don't. So this is for everything. And we do. Oh, wow. What a way to pull it out. We clinched the division, 89-73, 4-3 win over the Braves that last game of the season. Kinsler Jr., I haven't mentioned him too much this episode or in maybe a couple episodes. He had another solid year, 7.5 wins above replacement, 43 home runs, drove in over 100, scored over 100, 296 average. He's over 600 home runs for his career now. Signed for, I guess, a couple more seasons. Maybe an outside chance at 3,000 hits. I don't know how long he's going to be productive. That's always the mystery there. But for us, Gutierrez, who really finished strong down the stretch. September he hit 275, 750 in October, in the 2 games in October, 327 in August. I really liked that pickup. That was one of the things that saved me this year. No lie, having him in place of either Eubanks or just Perez at short. And then Norman struggled sophomore season, maybe, although it's his 3rd season, it's his 2nd full season. He did get 4 wins above replacement, so that's pretty good. And then Dion, his 13th win. This guy, man, finishes at 4.6 wins above replacement. I really like it. I would like to see him develop his movement, maybe pick up a couple more ticks here in some of these pitches, but my scout thinks he's a mid-rotation starter, and that's really good enough for me right now. It's, those are hard enough to come by, but OSA thinks he has a little bit of room to grow, it looks like. But big thing here, we finally make the playoffs. It's been so long since we've been here. Weekly team rankings, we finished 4th. So let's take a look at how the playoffs are going to look. So in the American League, Yankees won the East in a pretty weak American League East. Twins got the Central, but you got Kansas City and Chicago making it to the wild card. And then Texas, the best record in baseball there, 105 wins, easily cruised. I mean, I think they clinched way back early in September. Oakland had a terrible year. Individually, Elwell, 50-plus home runs again from this guy, although, I think he's probably past his peak, 252 average, but he's already over 500 home runs, big power hitter. Juan Elman, looks like he had a good year. He's only 22. Wow. I haven't really seen his name come up too much. Let's see who else looks familiar here. Rocky Stromain, probably once again going to be the Cy Young. He's won 4 already. 18 wins, 2.78 ERA, 193 Ks. Great pitcher. And he's signed for another several years. He's going to make a case for the Hall of Fame, I think. Zach Owenby's still throwing strong. He was 2nd in strikeouts at 232. He's still a 4-star pitcher. He's probably going to get 3,000 plus strikeouts the way it's looking. He's with the Yankees right now, 147 wins. I don't know how he'll come out in the Hall of Fame voting, but nationally you got the Phillies winning the division, and it looks like the Braves still have a chance at the wild card because they're tied with the Pirates, but Dodgers make the wild card. Arizona clinches the West. Chicago win the Central. Miami, another terrible year from them, 59 and 103. Individually, Gordon couldn't do the Triple Crown, average too low, but he led the league in home runs and RBIs. That was just a great pickup. So glad that I signed him a few years ago. That was probably one of the better picks I've had. Well, I may have traded. Yeah, I traded Lou Villa for him. Easily one of the better trades I've ever made in this playthrough because Gordon has just been a great player for me. And then Gutierrez on the stolen base leaderboard. Trujillo, if you say it, that's how you say it. 10 plus wins above replacement. A pretty weak year. I don't know how he's getting that, but I've definitely seen better performances that don't even get close to 10 wins above replacement. Pete Parker, great pitcher at Cincinnati. He might have a good chance at the Cy Young. He's already won it once. When was that? 2035. He's a good one. That I would have liked to have signed him when he became a free agent, but he just wanted too much money. But as good as our pitching staff is, we didn't have anyone on those top three leaderboards except for saves. Juan Mendoza, career high 42 from him. And then looking at the team stats, I mean, we had a scary, that patch offline through end of July, beginning of August was really bad. I really thought we were going to have another sub 500 season. I didn't think we were going to pull anything out, but strong down the stretch, August, September, October. So we were 37 and 21 from August on. So that's really good. And we got better at offense. I mean, we were double digits in most of the categories early in the season. We're top 10 in several. Second stolen bases. I always like to have a speedy team. But man, it's the pitching. I can't believe how good this pitching looks. First in runs allowed, bullpen ERA first, starter ERA second earned run average overall. Defensive efficiency is good. Just a great season from these pitchers. We had 4 guys with double digits in wins, and Contreras led the way. I'm kind of surprised to see that. Dion with 13, Barbarossa 12, McAfee just 12 wins. But again, I'm satisfied with that pickup because he did anchor, I think, that rotation when we needed it. Mayhew didn't look too bad either in limited starts because he was injured quite a bit. Bullpen was solid. 3 guys here. If you include Mannion, really, and Payan, who was a call up. These guys sub two ERA. Good bullpen performance. And then on the lineup side, Gordon, solid. Lockhart, not so much. I thought that he was going to be a Lohman replacement. He wasn't even close to a Lohman replacement. But Gutierrez, really solid. Portillo, turned it on a little bit. I still don't know if he's going to be the solution long term. I think Riggs is a better player. He just, for whatever reason, did not show it for me. I think he was probably going to be my starting left fielder next year if I'm betting. And Bond, I signed him for 3 years with a player opt-out. I don't know about him now. His defense, I think, was definitely better. I love his personality ratings. He was a better option than Vargas by far, but his zone rating could have been a little bit better at center. Maybe he wasn't the player I thought he was defensively, but still better than Vargas. And then Aguirre, fairly solid year. 264 average, but 21 home runs. Good year from him. But now we got to figure out who we're going to be playing in the playoffs. We got to get our rosters set up. Got a 2020 player, Driggs. I don't know. I think that's just because this is the new version. But the playoffs are going to be. Atlanta is going to be in the wild card. So that's going to be how it's looking. I mean, Chicago, Arizona, Phillies, and then Braves and Dodgers in that wild card. I probably won't change too much about my playoff roster. Mayhew is probably going to get a look over. Man, I don't know if I want to get it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I need one more pitcher at least. So I'm probably going to call down Romero to make way for Mayhew. And that should do it. I think that's where we're going to be going into the playoffs. But that's what we'll do next episode. That the way I like to handle it when we do make the playoffs is I will sim until we get to the deciding game, or I'll play it out offline. I play each individual game, and then I'll be back with that episode, and we'll see if we can clinch and make it far into the playoffs. I think pitching wise, I think we got a staff that can get us there. If that offense just gets hot at the right moment, this could be the time, I think, for us. And it's been a while since we made the playoffs, all the way back to 2032. And we won the division then to do it. But we've never gotten to the World Series in this playthrough. So it would be nice to finally see that happen. But that's what we'll be doing next episode. As always, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.